Good afternoon. This is the FIDE senior trainer and international master and chess coach Sekhar Sahu welcomes you to this intermediate session of Sports Authority of Gujarat and Gujarat State Chess Session. Hello, Dhyan Saha, Anush Agarwal and Creative Mind. All good afternoon. So let us discuss some endgames and positions, and today I will throw light on one of the most important variation against the Greenfield Defense. Okay, let us start. I present you this position: white to play and win. Every endgame has a method, a concept that you should understand. How white should win here? White to play and win. Can somebody tell me why? Creative Mind H4. Anybody else? Any other suggestion? Any other suggestion? Rook G4. Both are wrong. You know why it is wrong? The rook is tied down. The rook is tied down for the pawn. So Rook G4 does not work. And H4 is a mistake. In the actual game, he played H4 and game was drawn. The winning method is, now this diagram is white to play. So we should bring the same position with black to play. Now it is white to play. So we should triangulate the position. Triangulate and pass the move to black. The same diagram, black to play, black is in zugzwang. So H4 is a mistake, Rook G4 is a mistake. Rook G4 there is no progress. Rook G4 he will just come here, king or king, you are forced to come back. So there is nothing after Rook G4. So the correct method is you have to triangulate, bring the same diagram with black to play. How do we triangulate? King G3. Now he will play check. There is nothing better. Check. And now King G2. Again, the bishop has no good move. So again, bishop cannot go. The rook check is coming. No, Rook G3 check will come and king. So bishop cannot go. So only move. Again, so king. Now black to play. Black is in zugzwang. Now black to play. Black is in zugzwang. There is no other move. Unfortunately, there is no other move because white king cross, the rook is cutting off. So white wants to cross over. So only move. Where the other moves will lose. If you go Bg7, pawn push check, and it will make progress quickly, winning slowly. Okay. Now, if you king goes, king G3, king H4. Suppose you king goes, king G3, king H4, and now rook check is imminent. He will push, make progress. So bishop coming is not good. Only move is here, king. But then crossover. King cannot come. Discover check wins. So again the only move. Now there are two possibilities. The king can go to either G6 or H4. Both are bad. Both are bad. For example, if he plays G6, then we can pin it. Force then H4 check. And then this is lost. This is lost position. You have to go and king G4 and winning slowly. King F4, Kg4. So king cannot go to G6, just pinning and winning. And if you go to H4, then the winning method is simple king. Forced. There is bishop is running out of the square. Bishop cannot come here, cannot come, cannot come, cannot come because of rook check or pin. Either I will give a check, a pin, or I will give a check. So only move and winning. You have won the pawn, and what is the winning method now? Now again you bring the rook here. Again you come. King should come crossover, 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 and then win. Nothing he can do. Nothing he can do. So this is the problem here. So here the whole point is king cannot go. So only move. He has to go. And now lost. Bishop only square. No other square. Now h4 check. And now h5. You got to take it. Okay, you can take. You can come to check and winning. Because you have to block, but then the king coming to g4 and then push the king. So this is lost. So he plays winning. So in this position, h5, you cannot take that. Rook check picks up the bishop. And now winning. There is nothing but it is a zugzwang. The bishop has no square. No square. He cannot come, the pawn is failing, so cannot come anywhere. Winning. Check and pick up. So the whole beginning situation, it is only a triangulation. You have to get the same diagram with black to play. Next. The position, it is black to play. How should black continue here? Black to play, how should black play here? I am going to the elements of ending. Elements of endgame. How should black play? You should be able to answer quickly. Should not take so much time. Arush Agrawal gives the answer knight f6. Creative mind, knight f8. Knight f8 is correct. This is the correct check. This is wrong check. This is wrong check. This check will lose because after knight check, he has to come protect the pawn. If you go, then knight will attack. And if you go, knight check again, draw. Knight check, knight check. But if you play careless move like knight, this is bad move. This is bad move. This is winning. Now for example, king. And now you come here and knight c5 wins. Knight c5 wins. Because on knight I will attack. And knight zugzwang. Now king cannot move. There is no knight check. And knight is only move. But then you win the game with the knight check here. And winning. Knight check. Maybe knight check here. This is more correct. Because if you come, then I attack. Winning the game. This wins. That is the reason knight f6 check is wrong. Knight f8 and knight check draw. So knight f8 is correct answer. Knight f6 is losing. Alright. See, the simple elements, you have to be very thorough in this kind of positions. Now this position, white to play and win. How does white win? Arush Agrawal says queen d5. We have to always see, observe. Strategy is observation. We need to observe certain things. For example, now we should see the king and queen badly placed. Why? A check on this line. Check, check here. Will win the game. And king cannot go to this square. There is a square here. King, if he goes to this point, there is a square. So, these are the main features. So, bishop h7 check wins. Bishop h7. Now, there is a problem. If he goes here, it is a mate in one. Checkmate in one move. Queen checkmate. So, his squares are limited and he cannot go here. He cannot go to this point because square. The square is there. Okay. So, he cannot go. There is a mate. So, he cannot only square. Only square is, and he cannot go here also. Why? Check. Now this is bad and this is bad because of check and pick up the queen. So only move. Now bishop check, zugzwang. Now he cannot go to this square because it is a square and cannot go to this square because there is a square. Lost. So we need to observe typical features and mainly we have to see the mating pattern. Cannot go here, checkmate. Mate in one. So mating pattern, square. Okay, we need to observe these things very quickly. All these things should come in a flash of a second. Not bd5, not bd5. Bishop check, only move, queen check, only move and bishop check wins. Cannot take that, skewer. If you take skewer. Alright, next. The position is black to play. How should black play here? How should black play now? Now I will tell you here, black to play, these are losing moves. Black going here, here loses. The correct move. He should come here to draw. This is the only method. Suppose you play knight f5, it is lost. Knight f5, knight attacks. You have to go there and now zugzwang. Now the king cannot stay there because only move, knight has to move. But after knight move, it is lost, zugzwang. Neither king nor knight. Lost. The king has only, knight cannot move and king here, knight exchange. So knight f5 loses, knight g8 loses. These are all losing moves. These are all knight going here, knight going to this point, sorry. Knight going to this point, this, these are all losing. I told you, knight f5, this is simply attack. And now simply move, zugzwang. King has to move and exchange. And if you play knight g6 also, suppose you play knight g6 here, now the point is just king. King here. King here only move. Gradually I will push him. Gradually. Now king comes here and now I think I can now just play what? What can I do? I can attack. I can attack and game is over. So knight g8 also same thing. And knight g8 also you will run into zugzwang. Or knight g8 maybe just come here On knight g8. I have to attack the knight. I think what do I do here? I think this is zugzwang. This is zugzwang. This will run into zugzwang. Now knight has to move, but then knight and only square and exchange. Zugzwang. So the correct move here is knight on the center. Knight on center. Now you have to stay there only, nothing. Now king. Now the pawn cannot move and the king is coming over. Okay, and all these things, ng8, these are bad moves. These are bad moves, bad move, bad move. This is the correct move to draw the game. Okay, ng8 also loses. Next. The position, it is white to play. White plays king f2. So how should black play? Black to play and try to draw the game. ng6, king d8. No. ng6 loses. I have to go back again. Here, ng6 loses. King d8. What are you doing? Now you cannot leave. You cannot leave the knight. Because you cannot come here to make a fork. The only move. And now, this is zugzwang. What do I do now? Knight here. Knight here. Now knight has to move. Or knight move, same thing. It will work out the same thing. Knight zugzwang. So ng8 loses. ng8 loses. Where is king f7 coming here? Where is king f7 coming? King g7 loses. Now you have to move. King cannot move. Knight has to move. Knight has to move. The only move, zugzwang. Where is king f6 coming? Now knight here, I play knight. Where is king f6 coming? ng6, you want to play here, ng6, king d8. What are you doing? What are you doing? King g7. King g7. Alright. King g7. I have to play attack the knight. Okay. King f6 coming. Okay. Okay. Wait a minute. Here. ng6. Maybe here. ng6 is not working. Why? What is this move? ng6. Why king g8? Why? King d8, knight here. King d8 is not correct. 1 second. I think I will play knight. Knight. No, this is king is coming still. Ng6. This is lost. King here, zugzwang, right? Okay. So what is the improvement here? You are doing knight. Let me think for a moment. You have to attack the knight. Forced, otherwise king is coming. You have to attack the knight. This is forced, and now knight check. Think. This is not correct. King d8, you are coming there. Let's see. I will check this position. I will check this. Hello NV. No, knight e5 is not working. I will check this position, okay? Let me not take your time now. I will check this position. Ng6 move. Okay, what is the drawing method here? King f2. What should he do now? Hello, Mr. Venkatesan. Okay. What is the drawing method? You can see white plan is to go to this square. White wants to go here and then winning. So black has to be very careful. Black has two jobs. He is watch the pawn also. He has to watch the pawn. Okay, and the rook should belongs here, either here or here. Rook should come either here, one of the squares. He should come to this point or to this point. Draw. And how do you achieve that? So the correct move is quickly bring rook. A check. And now you reach. Now you reach. If you king here, now rook here. Notice the rook is on the S file, you lose the game. Here, the rook has access to the squares. Rook will not have access. If you are here, no access. So this is draw. So the whole point is, you must quickly bring rook, and now no matter what you do, you give a check and then come. Suppose you give rook check, the king g6, draw. This is draw. No progress. If you come king, you will just wait. The king has no shelter. Now you keep giving checks, no shelter. So the whole point is, you need to know that you must reach one of the squares. One of the squares. To make a draw. No, king f6 will lose the game. King f6 will lose the game. You need to, rook must come here, at this point. Either rook should come here or rook should come here. So rook, you can't stop. And we reach the target. Draw. Now this position is white to play. Let us be quick on endgame. Finish in 2-3 positions. White to play. How should white continue? The pawn is coming in this direction. How should white play? Yeah, Vinay gives the correct answer. Knight h3. You are forced to take zugzwang, only move. And now king. And now only square. And then checkmate. Well done. Now white to play. How should white play here? How should white play? Hello, Dhyan Saha. Good afternoon. Creative mind. Right answer. Last diagram. Two more end games. Quick. This and one more. How should white play? No, king f2 is not correct. Not correct, not correct. King f2 will lose. King f2 will lose the game. White to play and draw. It is not a win. White to play and draw. King f2 will lose the game for white. You will drop pawn. King f2 will drop the pawn. This pawn he will take. If you play king f2, he will take the pawn and win. White to play and draw. Exchange down. Yes, bf5. In the actual game, he played pawn check and lost the game. In the actual game, he played this bad move. After bad move, and now this is winning. This position will win. The king will come and gradually it will win. It will win the game. So it is bad move. The correct move is here bishop f5. Bishop f5, draw. Because rook check, king, not going to the corner. This is bad. So you stay here. Now bishop, no progress. King. Now the king, this is a fortress. This pawn, the bishop, they made a fortress. A fortress. King cannot cross. And now next king is coming. You can't play this. Bishop into pawn. And now pawn push. And it's a draw. Technical draw. Now bishop into pawn. And now push. What we need when the bishop versus rook, you need to go to the other color. The king should go either to this color or this color. Either king should come here or king should go there to get a sighter. And now you cannot take it. And now cross over. Just cross over. Forced to take the pawn. Forced to take the pawn. And now you will just cross over. Maybe you can attack also. Maybe you can attack also. Draw. I will cross. Just king comes quickly. King will go either to this corner. Draw. Here it is wrong. The king should not stay here. He will lose the game. These are the right corner. So the whole point is that in the actual game it did not happen. In the actual game he played bad move h4. e5 check, bad move. And gradually went down. Okay, so one more question we have got. No, I got one more end game. One more end game, then tactics. The position, it is white to play and draw. The pawn is queening. The pawn is queening. What are you going to do? Bhai, e5 loses. In the last diagram, e5 loses. King enters. The point is the king will enter slowly. I already explained to you. Now this diagram, how can white draw the game? Are you from India? 67 years in India. I am in India from birth 67 years. So Dhyan Saha, where are you from? America or Europe? Yes, rook a3. Rook a3. Correct move. The queening threat. Now the point is, if you will queen, this is not working. Rook into, you have to take with bishop into, then I promote my queen. And if you take rook into rook, immediately queen. Draw. So whatever you do, it's a draw. Perpetual check. Perpetual. Just perpetual. 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 No escape. So it is a perpetual check and he can't stop. Now if you rook into rook, queen is coming, and if you queen there, or if you do any other move, then I will queen. Okay, well done. Where are you from, Dhyan Saha? Where are you from? This position, the knight is stranded and the king is poorly placed. Good, well played, well played. So this should win the game. How can white win? Which place from India, Dhyan Saha? Which town, which city you are from? Hello, Sandeep Datta. White is winning. This is a very simple plan. White to win. Dhyan Saha, which town from India? Where do you live in India? Which place? Ahmedabad, okay. Okay. King g5, correct move. Simply the king comes here and then checkmate threat. King. Now you have nothing else. Now king takes pawn will lose. After king into, the knight is trapped. Only king pawn endgame. And now king, check and checkmate. So you cannot afford to go king into pawn. King f5, only knight move. King into pawn. Now you will take this. But now zugzwang. The bishop is threatening a mate here, both places. Checkmate. Bishop is threatening mate in two different places. Mate here and mate here. He is helpless. Knight. Creative mind, Bhubaneswar. Okay. Knight is tired. Yeah. Yes. Okay, all right. Next. So tactics. No, I think one more end game. White to play and win. Hey, what happened? Yeah, white to play and win. I thought the internet connection got cut. Luckily it is there. How should white win? G5 check. You give the full variation. You give G5 check, the king will come here. On G5, G5 check, king to E7. When you give G5 check, he will come. For example, you give a check, he will come. What do you do? Huh? What will you do now? You want to play G6? No problem. G6 is no problem. The king will wait. G6 check, king E8. G6 check, he has gone king E8. See, now G6 check, he has gone king E8. What will you do? Where will you go? I have already moved black king to E8. Sandeep Datta. Now anybody? Kamakshi Vastu G7. Sandeep Datta G7. Wrong answer. Now G7 is a mistake. When you play G7, it is a draw. When you play G7, bishop here, pin. Now I will take the pawn. King move, I will take it. Pawn into draw. You cannot do. So the correct move is BD7. Now king cannot come. G7 wins. And king into pawn, king this G7. So hasty move here. This is a bad move. This is a bad move. The correct move. Endgame mistakes. Careless move. No, king H7 does not work. After king H7, this is a draw. Draw. No win. So the correct move is bishop check. Now king cannot go. Pawn push. And king into pawn push. And winning. Alright. So let us do some tactics. Quick. Now the position is white to play and win. White to play and win, Babu. No, king H7 does not work. Bishop D7 is only move. Dhyan Saha, you don't have to give so many answers. King H7 is a mistake. The position is given position, white to play and win. How do you win? I have already told Dhyan Saha, king H7 is bad, bishop F8 draw. Bishop F8 and draw. I already explained to you. Okay, this tactics. The answer, when you play king h7, bishop f8 will cover that square. Dhyan Saha, mistake. Bishop f7 is wrong move. It is a bad move. Bishop f7 is bad. No, queen h5 is bad. This is not correct move. Wrong move. Queen h5 wrong move. Bishop f7 wrong move. No, it's wrong. You lose your chances of win. Queen h5 is, what is queen h5? Knight into g5 will come. Nothing. Queen h5 is, you lose all your chances. No, this is gambling. A player should give only one answer. Please stick to only one chance. Because if you keep on making queen h5, knight e6, knight e2, knight, all these things wrong. Please don't give 2 times answer. A player must give only one chance. Otherwise the puzzle will never end. There is no point in giving a puzzle. You have to think like you are in tournament. Now you play queen h5, it is knight g5. Then you play, no, I will play knight e6, then I will play bf7. One of the moves will correct. No, if you keep on making each and every move. So only one chance, please. Queen h5 mistake, knight e6 mistake, bf7 mistake. Yes, nb5. Sandeep Datta gives correct answer. The idea, you open the road for the queen. This idea, the queen should be ready to come, attacking this and this. So, knight b5. The queen's road is empty. Now if you take it, now bishop check, and queen check and checkmate. Next movement. So, the whole point is, this knight move comes with a tempo, opening the road for the queen to come to the square. So, I can give the sack and enter. Nothing. You have to stop that move. There is no other plan. Only move. But then knight check. The only move. And then finish. So, okay, you need not. But this position, whatever you do, you are losing queen. Pawn into loses, bishop check and queen check and mate. So, this is the point. Well done. Please, everybody, make it a rule. You get only one chance. Please do not answer 2 times, 3 times. Because one of the answer is going to be correct if you make 4, 5 moves. So please think. No, queen f3 is nothing. Queen f3 there is no point. Queen f3, he will take knight into g5 and he will take the knight. He is going to take 2 pieces on queen f3, knight into and pawn into e5. Not correct, not correct. And please give only one answer, everybody. Alright, next. So, black to play. This position is black to play. How should black win? Black to play and win. You need to see the vulnerable points. It is about open lines. How does black win here? Work out. I will get some water for me. Okay, I am back. So how did you do so far? How are you doing here? What is the winning plan? Not correct. Not correct. Knight f4 wrong. Rook f6 wrong. It's a wrong answer. Wrong answer. You give one chance, he will survive. If you give one chance, he will survive. Not correct, not correct. Okay, I will show you the mating pattern. Why? I will show you the mating pattern. The correct move is king f7. The idea is knight check and checkmate. Now knight into pawn, it doesn't matter. King. And now no matter, you capture queen, check. You come here, it is a mate. Or you take also, there is a mate. Liner mate. This is called the liner mate. So the king f7, clearing the road. And white is helpless. Okay, you can save the mate at the cost of the queen. You can save the mate at cost of mate only. I think it is a mate only. Okay. And rook f6 is not working. Here the knight check is losing, and here rook f6. What is this? Okay. So how do you handle? Rook f6 is not same thing. Rook f6 is not the same thing. Because here what can I do? What can I do here? Rook f6, why it should not work? I think I will have a saving resource. Saving resource. It should work actually, but let me see. No, rook h7. No, rook h7 is not working. Rook f6 is interesting. Let me see. Let me see the resources. I think the resource is here. The resource will come here. Because now if you move, I am running away. I will give the queen, no problem. Now running away. Knight check does not work. Knight check pawn into, and rook check queen here. I have taken two pieces and it is not easy. And rook comes with a check. There you don't get the knight also. So rook h7 is not correct. There is no threat here. That this is the liner mate. No, now this is not working. Not working. Knight check is not working. Okay. Now the rook is ready. Now the rook is ready. If you come here, the rook is ready. There is no check. Now here you cannot survive now. Queen, now rook is ready. Now king here, checkmate. Lost. Or you come here, also lost. How I can do check? This is also losing, and check and wins. Check and winning. You get only one piece. There is a knight into check. Okay. But it is interesting. Rook f6 is interesting move, not bad. But rook h7 is nothing. After rook h7, you simply run away. You simply run away. Just king runs away. So king f7 is the fastest win. Rook f6 also, but it is not very clear. Okay. Rook h7 is not working. Just king runs away. The position is white to play and win. White to play and win. Matthias Walsh is a German grandmaster. How did he win? Well done. Creative mind is well done. Takes, queen check, check. You cannot come, checkmate. And you take, double check. Here is a mate, here is a mate. Double check. No matter where he goes, anywhere, rook checkmate. So giving the rook and giving the queen. Okay. Okay, this position is white to play and win. Basically, what is the problem of white? White rook is unprotected. So, this is the extra piece on the board. White rook is unprotected. But if you can manage something out of the extra piece, then you win the game. So, how do you win? White to play and win, you have to make use, at least you get some material. At least one pawn if you win, that is enough. For example, now if the king is exposed in return for the piece, white wins. Not queen g4. Queen g4 is nothing. Queen g4 is not working. On queen g4 he can play f5. On queen g4 he can play pawn f5. Pawn f5. You lose your winning chances. Wrong answer. See, I told you by giving the extra piece I should get at least a pawn. For example, when he takes, I should get a pawn. e5 wins. e5. Now if you take, this is decisive. The position of the king is bad. And the pawn, central pass pawn. And the knight is coming. Knight is coming. Nothing you can do. Or the knight also. This is a horrible position. The pawn is well. So, pawn e5 is the correct move. Because now you have to take pawn. This is bad, as I told you. When you take the pawn, and now queen check. I support. I bring the bishop back. Now I will move. After king moves, I will come back. And if you play queen d7, bishop e7 wins. Bishop e7, rook into queen threat. And if you take queen as mate, checkmate. Sakmat. गणपत हो गया ये. Antonina Artamonova. Welcome. So, e5 is a winning move. e5 is a winning move. Okay. Now you have to take means now queen g4 and now you have to block. Otherwise piece and bishop e7. Finito. Finish. You have to lose the queen and the game. And now knight. The position is white to play and win. bh5, correct move. Correct move, bh5. Now, rook is attacked, so he will come. Yes, no other good move. Rook is under attack, so only move. Only move. But then what do you do? bh5 is a good move, but how to finish the game? Yes, bh5 is winning because the only move but rook d7. Now rook here, rook, bishop check, and you come here and rook. Idea, if you take it, you lose the queen. Or you move, then checkmate. So well done. This position is white to play and win. White to play and win. Mating pattern. You have to find mating pattern. That's it. Bizu kai nahi. The power of subconscious mind. क्या करोगे भाई? So the win for white. Queen b8, no, not working. Queen b8 is wrong answer. A player gives only one answer. Queen b8 is wrong. Rook f8, correct answer. Rook f8. Vinoy and creative mind. Rook f8. Only move. Check. Only move. Now, what you want a check. That is made. So, tempo. The threat on the queen and threat on the mate. The point. This is the point. Mating pattern. You lose a queen, that is winning the game, or mate. You can save the mate at the cost of the queen. You can save the mate, but then queen is lost. So well done. Rook c2 and Flakchuk winning. The position is white to play and win. No, rook f2, rook c2. Creative mind, notation mistake. It is rook c2, not rook f2. Okay, rook f2 is not working. For example, now rook f2 is not working. Why it will not work? Now king will come. Is not correct. Not correct. You want to start a new game, will start. The rook f2 is not working. Where is the win now? So you must calculate. You don't think that he has to take it. The wrong concept. He has resource. Okay, now this is a new game. I don't agree. When you get the gold, why go for tamba? Huh? When you get the gold medal, why go for the bronze? So next. White to play and win. What is your name, creative mind? What is your name? I am also from Orissa, my native state. You are from Bhubaneswar. What is your name? Aditya Khadenga. Okay, Aditya. Om Aditya Khadenga. Okay. So here white is winning. How? Correct answer. Dhyan Sa, rook f7. Because if he takes, this check is decisive. Winning quickly. He cannot take it. So the only move he plays is knight attacking. Because king and rook is not possible. And the bishop is watching. Rook cannot come. Bishop is watching. So only move knight. What do you do now? What will you do? Where will you go now? Okay, I have thousands of students all over India. Okay, Devi Nayak, I know. He was coming to KIT. Now, black makes a counter attack. So, how do white win? Counter attack. See, I will tell you, one correct move does not work. You must be ready. You should not mechanical think he will take and queen check. You must see the best defense. Knight e5 best. Even this is winning for white. What should you do? Very simple answer. Very simple. Means, I will tell you one thing. Do not try to force mating. You have to play simple win. What you want? I want to take the pawn. Then bishop check is finished. This check after taking the pawn. Now no answer. Knight cannot move. The threat is bishop check, deadly. This is a threat. The only move, but then bishop a7 and it is lost. Because the queen cannot go, has to somewhere very busy. After the queen goes here, this is winning queen d6. My plan, you go somewhere, either any of the square, queen. Then I will enter. Finito. You go queen, go to some bad square. You have to leave d6. Even here also. Queen d6, party finish. So, no, bh5 is bad. No, these are wrong moves. Don't do these mistakes. bh5 is bad. Pawn push will come. Not correct. So, simple rook into pawn. The defense is gone. Now the threat is too much. So, only move to stop the check. But then answer queen d6 unstoppable. Queen d6 coming. Forced. Ganpat ho gaya. Queen. Now into hopeless. Okay. All right. Karthik. No, rook e7. Rook g7. Karthik. Rook into g7. Here, simple moves. Never try to only force mate. Okay. All right. Next. Baiban. Next. White to play and win. This is a very easy one. I am sure you will get it. Come on, fast. अरे भाई सिंपल है. अभी ये रूक है, क्वीन है. So active pieces. The queen is in trouble. Into rook is watching this. bg6 correct move. Threatening queen check. Now only move he has to come knight check to divert. The only move he will give a knight check. There is nothing because at least he will save the knight. Now queen into. Okay, you can move the king, but he will survive for some time. Okay, because after you move king, he will take the knight, bishop. This is wrong. He will take the bishop. That is why queen into. Now only move. But then check. It is all lost. You lose the queen. Here, check, and you lose the queen. Black loses the queen. Bhai, this is white to play. Sorry, black to play. I want your evaluation. Black to play. What is the result of the game? Make an evaluation. Chess is all about evaluation, planning and execution. These are the things. You have to evaluate who is better, why he is better, who is bad, why he is bad. Make a plan and execute the plan. That's all about chess strategy. Now, what is the evaluation? Black to play. Karthik calling Karthik. भाई इसको बताओ क्या होगा आगे. What should black do? What is the evaluation? Is it a draw? Is it a win? Is it somebody is winning? Okay, Jan Shah says draw. So draw, show me the draw. Show me the draw. No, Jan Shah, wrong answer. Wrong answer. Not correct answer. The point is, you need to observe certain features in a position. Now, evaluation, both king are exposed. This king is exposed, this is also exposed. But please note that black's no pawn move. I mean, there is no pawn move. That means he need to sacrifice these three pieces. He need to sacrifice these three pieces and then draw. Stalemate. So how you will do? Bishop into pawn. Bishop takes. You have to accept the bishop. You cannot decline. The queen check is meaningless. King h6 is coming. And bishop is coming here. So you got to accept. No choice. No choice. But then rook f8. I think if you do not accept, white king in trouble. White king is in trouble. So you have to accept it. And perpetual. Perpetual check. Draw. Perpetual. So the whole point is, you need to see there is no pawn move. So sacrificing all three pieces, forcing a draw. Okay. Stalemate. By one. Now this position is white to play by. White to play and win. Fast. We have to see some very important. Today I want to throw light on one of the important line of Greenfield Defense for white. Come on. Yes, Karthik, right answer, last diagram. No, not correct. Not correct answer. And d6 is wrong. N into d6 is wrong answer. Dhyan Saha, Karthik, wrong answer. What is there? He will take it. And d6 rook, you exchange everything. Rook into rook into rook into queen into nothing. Aage patra. One knight down. Okay, I give you a broad hint. The focus point, this is focus point. This, now this. Okay, this is the focus point. This is focus. So how do you go for this? These are the focus point. Weak pawn and bad king position, and rook is unprotected. So you have so many active pieces, 4 active pieces. Not h5. This is too slow. You do not give time to opponent. Not h5. And stick to one answer. The winning move is e5. e5 wins. For example, suppose black will play, then queen comes, or nb7, maybe nb7. But then this is unprotected. The queen is coming. Attack and winning. The rook is having no square to go. I will just play queen and is winning. Rook, no. Queen f3, winning. You are in trouble because here rook knight is lost, pawn into pawn. And d5 is losing. So here you cannot play knight, and on pawn into pawn, here simple move, knight into. Because now queen. This is exposed king. Check. You can't take that, you lose exchange. And after knight, finish. He must lose material, heavy material. e5 is the killer. e5, exposing everything. Pawn breakthrough. You cannot take this pawn into pawn, the only move. And now knight into, the only move. Then knight b7, pick up material. Rook attacked. You can't move. Lost. Okay. Alright. Please stick to one answer. Next. This position is white to play and win. White to play and win. चल मेरे भाई, white to play win. Not queen f5 check. Wrong answer. Dhyan Saha, not correct move. Queen f5 check is not correct. No, not e5. Not correct. Dhyan Saha, please give only one answer. I already told, a player gets only one chance. Don't give too many answers. e5 wrong move, queen f5 wrong move. The point is, you have to notice there are certain features. First you observe the weak point. No, rook f8 is not working. Okay, I will tell you, the queen is against this. So, what we want to do? I will play attack. You cannot move. Double check. You cannot go somewhere. Double check will come. So, you have to take it. Now, rook check. You have to play only move. Now, rook check. And you play only, and then this is winning. Ganpat. Series of force moves. Knight d5. You got to take. You can't move the queen. You cannot move. Double check is finished. You move the queen, double check. So, the only move, but then rook check. Now, if you go here, mate. It will lead to mate. Rook into bishop and queen g6 mate. The only move. Now rook check. The only move. And going on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fatafat finish. Tuck, 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 tuck. Check, 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 check. Over. Is there any doubt? No doubt. Any question? I move forward to the next. Now the position is winning for black. Black to play and win. I flip the board. Black is winning. All pieces are active. Creative mind, rook f8 was wrong. He will just take rook into. Nothing is there. Think, how should black win? Black to play and win. Show me the win. How do you win? Okay? No, bishop d4, wrong answer. Correct answer, creative mind. Creative mind gives correct answer, rook d. The queen is overloaded for the square. Queen is overloaded. There is a mate threat always looming. So, rd3. rd3. The only move. Otherwise, you lose a piece. Otherwise, you will lose a piece. Only move. But then, queen check. Finish. This is finish. Now rook into, then rook into rook check. Lost. Lost. If queen c2, a rook d1. Queen cannot take it and rook cannot take it. Queen check. So, whatever you do, it is lost. rd3, only move, but then queen check, only move, and rook check and mate. Well done, Kamakshi Bastu and creative mind. Next. White to play and win. Come on, fast. White to play and win. Fatafat finish. We have to go quickly for the next topic. क्या करोगे भाई? How does white win? Okay, queen into rook, queen into knight, pawn into. You have to go further. Don't expect me that I will take. If queen takes, pawn takes queen. You have to give the answer ready. If queen g6, pawn g6, what next? I already answered. Queen into g6, pawn into g6. You take my knight, I will take your queen. What next? Now if you stop thinking, if you think, that means you are making a move without calculation. So don't do that. You have to come up quickly. Queen takes knight, pawn takes queen. What next? Yes, knight f4. Right answer. Now no, because all the possibilities will. Now you cannot go mate. There is no stopping this mate. No stopping. You can stop the mate by giving too many pieces. You can give too many pieces. And after the knight check, king and rook, anyway it is getting mated. Anyway mate. Alright, next. So we finish the tactics. Now I think one more. Okay, white to play and win. White to play and win. Last tactics. Yes, Arun Master, answer is correct. What about this diagram? How white wins? The last piece of tactics, better you answer quickly. Okay. One more is there. We have one more tactics. Finish this quickly. Taking so much time for the simple finish. Not queen g6, Chinmay Tiwari. Okay, I will give a hint. Now, for example, imagine if there is a capture and I give a check. But this back rank has to be covered. So, rook covers. Now, rook. You have to move queen, then queen into, pawn into, and checkmate. Not queen g6. No. You attack, you cover. Now the rook is covering this. Okay. And now queen takes. And you have to take and checkmate. 1, 2, 3 mate. Okay, next. Last tactics. The position is black to play and win. What is the strength of black? The king is awful, miserably placed. This is a white square, bishop is there. There is no white defender. The castle position is very, very weak. So this is a very simple win. There is no tactics here. It is positionally lost. Tactics, operation, but positionally. So here the queen has access. The queen has access here. And the knight is coming with a tempo. All these things winning. Knight. and now knight into. So he will play rook into. Now he will get counterplay, but then queen. Now there is a threat. So you have to take it, and now rook finish. Over. You can't defend, you cannot take mate, nothing can be done. Unfortunately, hopeless position. So it is a color conflict. The whole point is that the position, they open the line and the queen is excess. Now knight joins with a tempo, finish. We can play this also, but this is also losing, because now in this case queen will enter. Now give various threats, the knight threat and the rook threat. So this is all winning. The knight threat, crushing. So you try to counter attack with rook d6, and now rook into queen here, and rook into knight only move, but then game over. Alright. So I would like to discuss today I will throw light on two positions basically. Now d4, knight f6, c4, g6, and c3. Now bishop g7 is leading to king's Indian, which is very complex. Now another line is Greenfield. Here this is Greenfield defense. So I want to throw in Greenfield defense. There are only two lines. Normally there are many lines, but two main lines. One is positional, one is attacking. Knight f3 is Russian system, and queen b3. Even if queen check is also there, but queen b3. This is a positional and guaranteed white gets a small advantage. Definite advantage. Now here this is a Petrosian system. Okay, and this is also a line. But queen b3 is very good. And other line is to play exchange variation. Pawn into pawn. And knight takes pawn, e4. e4. Knight into knight. So I am going to discuss this sharp attacking line. Positional line and attacking line. So today I will only discuss this exchange variation. For example, now here, so this is the exchange variation. In this position, there are two type of, one is positional line is coming, and another one is sharp attacking line coming. So what is this is sharp line, because after c5, now rook b1. This is one diagram. White plays RB1. Why RB1? The rook is, after the move, the bishop is against the rook. So, rook B1, now putting pressure on this. So, it is not easy. And after castle, white plays simply this. And ready to castle. Of course, white can also play h3. This is also possible. h3 is also good move. b3 good move. But this is straight development quickly. And now pawn into, and now queen. The knight c6 does not come. Queen check, now bd2, queen takes pawn. So grabbing the pawn, this is a very interesting, very important to theory. White has center and development. Black has one extra pawn. Now castle. Here there are many setup. For example, black can try a5, a4, a5, a4. This is one plan. Black can play nd7 and nb6, the second plan. This is the second plan. He can play nd7 and nb6. Then third plan, he can play b6. Why b6? Because the rook is watching. Third plan, rook, so he can play b6 with the idea, now the queen can go back. Or he can play bishop to b7. This is third plan. Okay, after castle, I told you a5, a4 one plan. Then nd7, nb6 second plan, b6, bb7 or queen x third plan. Even you can play here giving the pawn, return the extra pawn, bishop d7 and rook into pawn, and rook comes here. This is fourth plan. But this is now material equal and weakness, The queen is bad. So, good evening Lopa Nenuji, Avishek Nenuji. So there are 4-5 plans. So let us see first this plan, bishop g4, one of the most popular line. Now bishop. You can also play be3. be3 idea, if knight, then push the knight and then go to bg5. You can do this also. You can do this also. But anyway, it is a choice of grandmasters. So bishop. Actually, when you take the account, the rook can come on this point. Then you better watch about this. So he can play pawn push. Idea, take my pawn, then rook e8 and counterplay. So you can come back now. You can come back because now this is a target for me. This is a target for me. And this is also a target for me. So all this thing is there. So here this is, but Anand played, he is a more sharp player by tactical player. The pressure maintains. Pressure maintains. Now d5. And now the point is development problem. There is b7 hanging, e7 hanging. And now I can take it also. I am in a better position to defend. So he plays g5. Because the pawn is ready. After taking, I will just support. So only move. Only move. Now after d5, he plays. You cannot ignore that pawn. Only move. And white got attacked. What is the plan? Basically, immediately tactical threat. This is the tactical threat. Knight into is a threat because doubly attacked. And when you take bishop into bishop, the queen will under attack. The queen will under attack. So the threat is now, immediate threat is knight g5. White is giving a threat of knight g5 now. So he plays bishop into. Now white has bishop pair and center and development, and black is badly placed queen. This is badly placed queen. And then center, 2 bishops. The position is terrible. So after this, terrific position and winning. The position is winning. I will not be able to cover the whole game because I need to cover up the topic. So I will not show the whole game. This position is overwhelming. So let us see other lines also there. For example, here I told you bishop d7 is idea, rook into pawn, rook c8 is one plan, nd7 one plan, nc6 second plan, then a5, a4 third plan. So various plans. In each way, white gets an advantage because a poorly placed queen, center and open lines. Open line and very good position. So I will discuss more about it later. So this is just white is better. We should conclude. Now queen can come back also. Queen can come back also. This is also bad. I will attack the queen and center will start rolling. So compensation very good. Now let us see. Sometimes black can force queen exchange. That is not a good idea. For example, I will show where queen exchange is taking place. Vijay Anand is white. Now c5. This is supposed to be the main line. Other line I will discuss is, instead of nf3, black plays solid positional, bishop c4 and knight e2. This is the plan. Positional line. That I will come to you later. First look b1. Now d5, check, bishop d2. Now bishop into queen into nd4. You have to play. You cannot play passively. Knight f5, then you will never reach. Bishop check and queen h6 will crush. Bishop check and queen h6 will crush. Only move. And now material is equal, but position is not equal. Castle. If you play castle, white attack will go through easily. So cannot castle. Only move. Now this ending is bad. This ending is bad. You cannot develop the bishop. Not bishop exchange. White is clearly on top. Now the king is an active piece in endgame. I am entering 7th rank. Target, the center pawn. It is over and out. Simply terrific position. So even queen exchange does not give relief to white. So let us see another game played by same diagram by Garibhai Kasparov. Let us see another diagram. Same type of endgame. Now c5. d5. The point is the knight is under attack. So if you don't take the pawn, I will simply play. Suppose you don't take, you will never get a chance. If knight goes somewhere, c4 is crossing. So you have to accept it. Exchange is forced, otherwise piece down. Now knight takes, check. At least you spoil the king position. King. And now simply king. Now black has problem of development. You cannot do anything, only move. Maybe this is also correct move. Both are good. Forced. You can't take pawn into. That will suicide. Bishop takes and rook c7. And it is very strong. The f7 under focus. The pass, protected pass pawn. Active king. And Kasparov won brilliantly. Only move. f4. Central pawn duo. Only move. And it is just coming, The position is a terrific position. You bishop cannot move. Lost position. You give now, for example, if you play, you are inviting bishop to center. bd5. Finish. So this is also, even without queens, the threats are too dangerous. And now let us see one game. Why I think white mishandled. That I will show you. White is Garibhai Kasparov in his younger days. So this rook, this is not correct. The correct move RB1. This is more correct move is to play RB1. A safe way to play. After this, I don't see how black will reel out of the mess. The endgame is bad, central pass pawns. So this is the good move. But here, it was very young Kasparov. He played rook c1. Now, black has counterplay. The reason is white king is exposed. Now, for example, he played d5. Rook d1. Now you play king. You cannot do. The rook b1 was there because knight was being watched. Now, if the rook was at b1, you would have watched the square. But now if you play bd3, knight b4 is coming. This is the point. Rook at b1 was better. So here you have to move king. But then here, this is knight a5. Good move. Now black did not find the best move. The position black is better. Why black is better? Because the rook is uncoordinated, the king position is not good, and this is a powerful diagonal. Simply bd7 is crossing. bd7 will crossing position. After bd7, for example, I will give you a model variation. Bishop takes pawn ruled out. Bishop takes pawn, rook e8 and counterplay. So it is not going to do any good. After bishop takes pawn, rook e8 will come. And now you can come bf8 also. You can also rook c8 also. This is bf8. Take the pawn now. Now bishop into bishop is coming. Now if bishop into bishop, rook check will come. So counterplay. Or you can come rook. So bishop into e7 is bad. Now bishop d7. No. This is the correction. And now rook c8. Black better. Because the center is being, pawn into pawn is threat. You can't push the pawn. Pawn into. You cannot decline. Now bishop takes knight is not doing good. Because anyway you will get the piece back. Counterplay. If you take bishop takes, pawn takes, he will get the piece back. Black better. So you have to be very careful. You cannot play casually. So rook b1 was the correct move. 10th move. Now I have shown you positions. Now I will take you to other moves. d85. d85. Okay. A decisive game. Now for example, I showed you this plan already. RB1 is the correct move. Okay. You can take queen into queen. That is not going to do good. So I will show you a game after queen into queen why it is bad. Okay. I showed Kasparov's game only. Queen into queen, king into queen, and then castle, the position d5 plus minus. Okay, so here he plays castle, Now queen into, knight into, and this is very strong. Now you cannot give the bishop, two bishops. The pressure, knight is stranded, and this is a target. Two bishops and two center. Now only move. Now there is no counterplay. The passive position of black. Black has no activity. White will keep double up. No activity. You have to play. Support the knight. Then taking away, no rook cannot come. Cannot come to this point. And winning. Force. You have to play f6. Now d5. Bishop at comes. d5. If you take this pawn, he will attack the rook first. And then he will take this. This is terrific. Central pass pawn. Two bishops and central pass pawn, rook behind. This is just a killer. So you can't do that. The only move here to play g5. Guarding f4. But just bishop d2. I will attack the rook from other end. Now if you stop, bishop f4, bb4 is coming. Finish. bb4. Rook into pawn. Clean. Now the central pass pawn. Central pass pawn, two bishops and exposed king. Check. Only move. Check. Again only move. And the pawn is rolling. So this is just one of the very modern game that this is very dangerous plan. Central pass pawn. So I will show another game. I will show another one game with this d85. Say it is like Kasparov, Karpov. This is Karpov. Now RB1. I told you already the end game I have discussed. Pawn takes pawn and queen f5 is bd2 is coming. So knight. Now queen. So black is trying to complete development slowly. But e5. Here d5 is not coming because the pawn falls. So e5. And now the rooks are joined. This is now having no scope. This limited. This is, and knight is poorly placed to center pawns. So he placed this, preparing to advance. Simply one by one, Karpov is excellent in piece improvement. Now the knight is heading. The knight is heading to d6. Lost position. Okay. This is very bad. Pawn is weak, squares are weak. White has a decisive advantage. Okay, another game on this. I will say this is the classic game. Where is Kasparov? Probably I will not be able to cover the second variation. I will cover next class because it is not easy to. I don't want to go very fast. A very slow system. One of the idea, he wants to play bb7 and queen d7, rook d8, etc. Now, one of the plan is, now if you play normal moves, b2, castle, then queen d7, bb7, rook d8 and c5. And then c6. So, white must interfere with the plan. Check. Now if you play bishop d7, your bishop has to move 2 square. Again, you can't come blocking the knight. If you play this, I'll just come back. Come back. No counterplay. The bishop cannot come blocking knight, and again you lose time. So c6 is imperative. c6 only move. Then come back. So castle. Now the point is, exchange the bishop. The knight is very badly placed. White has center, and the knight is poorly placed, and activity is one. This is all active. So tempo forced. Otherwise you lose material. Don't tell me that NBA will survive. Don't tell me. So only move. Now attack. I want to provoke weaknesses. Okay, taking the pawn is bad because e4 is hanging. You cannot win a pawn with this. So rook. Now the threat is bishop into. I want to take the pawn and take the knight. Now the threat is simple, rook against queen. Now this is a critical moment. Now the grandmasters have mastered the art of grabbing the initiative. I have already spent one whole session about central pass pawn. Somewhere I have to give the templates. I have to create. I have not given central pass pawn d5. Ignoring this, I don't care for irrelevant. The central pawn is the decisive ruler. So only move, take, only move. There is nothing better. You cannot keep on only move. And now central pawn rolling. Now the knight is stranded. One. The rook is behind. Bishop is watching the square. This is all very annoying. You can't play this. These are all ugly moves. You can't play. But he did not get what to do for this move. Now this is a threat. The threat is to play bishop to e7. He can't do anything. It needs a lot of calculation. This needs a series of variations because I have seen the game, so I am able to calculate and tell quickly. Otherwise, it is very difficult. Now, the whole board is in two parts. There is no connection. This pawn completely cuts off the queen side and king side. Bad, bad. This king is bad. The pawn is controlling this. No rook can come. And if it takes the piece, the queen check. Now you have to accept. After accepting, you lost. If you don't expect, it is hopeless. You have to expect. For example, knight b4 is a possibility. Check, the only move, and now knight. Now you cannot take it. Pawn queens, you cannot take it, and lost. This is hopeless. You cannot take pawn into knight, and knight check is threatened. So you can't do. So this is the only move to take this. But then a check, only move, and now knight. The threat, again only move. I don't see any other way to stop the check, so that he can play king g7. But then attack, and I don't see, rook cannot move. If you move the rook, it is lost. For example, if you move now knight, I will play queen, rook attacked, and this is threatening. Knight into, and then queen into. My threat is to take knight into, rook into, and then queen into, winning. Nothing he can do. Helpless about it. So you cannot do. So here he plays knight, but then knight into, and now rook. The point is, either you leave this diagonal, bishop is attacked, either you leave this diagonal or leave this square. One of the things you have to consider. So queen. The idea is, after queen, the rook enters 7th rank with mating net. The idea, initiative goes on. Forced rook, queen check, mate threat. Mate threat. Now the point is only move. I don't see other moves, only move. But now this is the target. The target. So he gives now check. Why check? Many of the strategic goals are achieved by tactical means. Our strategy is to attack this point now. So we give a check and we come with a tempo and then we enter. Threatening to take the piece also and enter. Check. Threat. Okay, game over. Okay, all right. You can do other moves also, but then you lose the piece. You lose the piece and the exchange up should win. So this is a fantastic game. It is not easy. A player will give the piece. It is the speed and calculating ability of Garibay Kasparov. So he finished the game brilliantly. One of his masterpieces. So I will leave this. D85 I complete? No. I think one more game. D85 I completed, I guess. I have completed D85. Yeah. So I will the next session I will discuss this line. Now, not knight f3. Knight f3 rook b1. This knight f3 rook b1 is a positional line. Attacking line. Now I will conclude bishop c4. Idea, knight e2 and then castle. No pin. Knight e2. Now you can play bishop g4, you can play c5, bg4. So I will discuss this position in detail in my session Monday, because tomorrow is full day playing day, both session. And I will be back today at 6 p.m. for playing. So you are learning also, I hope, from that. So okay, so thank you very much friends being with me, and I will discuss this variation detail on my Monday's class 3 p.m. So you get ready to meet me over the board online on Leech's platform at 6 p.m. Take care and bye. Bye.